Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Georgiana with Expressions Craft Studio, and we are doing part 2 of our stencil making gatefold card from Ardith. That's the person who inspired us to do this one. Her video will be linked below. So we made this stencil in the first part of the video, which was our last video. Today I've been playing with it. Now I gotta tell you, I don't know about you guys, but I have the most difficult time remembering my measurements getting this gatefold correctly. So I didn't get it correct even on this one. I ended up having to trim some off, and then I trimmed too much, so there is a gap there. But one of the things Ardith mentioned in her video was putting a piece of paper in there so that when you're ink blending or whatever you're using, it doesn't get on the inside of your card base there. So I did remember that, thank goodness. For some reason I was thinking I was working with an 11-inch piece, and so that's where I started off wrong. I cut it, I don't even know what I've done with it now, but I cut it basic, or it's a trifold because I've done it completely wrong. So maybe I'll make a slim line out of it. I'm not sure yet. I've got a couple of those because I've done this before. The second one I did, I still did it wrong. So yeah, I don't know. So anyway, I'm going to do this next bit of inking on just a standard card, standard fold card. But I wanted to show you what I was playing with, because honestly there are so many options with this. So first I used some of my inks from Spectrum Noir. This is their Harmony collection. It's from several years ago. And I used Grasshopper and Pine Tree. So I used Grasshopper first and filled in the whole stencil. And then I went back over the outer edges with Pine Tree just to give it a little bit of depth and dimension. And I forgot to do that one altogether. So then I thought, well, let me color in my star. And so I used gold ink for that, and then some Wink of Stella to pull from the center out through the points and the valleys, thinking that that would look cool. And it does kind of look cool, but I think it'd show it better on a darker cardstock. So then I thought, well, let me get out some of my paint, my gold paint, and let's just put some dots in there. I've got dotting tools, even though I have yet to make an actual piece that's dotted. This actually would be my first, I guess. So I started over here on the right side, and I used this Folk Art Color Shift. I know that's hard to read. And it's the yellow flash, and that is what's on the right. But on the left, other than it's a different consistency for the paint, it's thicker, you can't really see the difference in the color. And that is Folk Art Metallic Pure Gold. Yes, I have a big bottle of that. So either one of those two colors would work. And then at the bottom, I used the flash green just because I wanted to see. I already knew this card wasn't going to be a viable actual card I'd probably send out, just because I ended up having to trim it off with my my slicer instead of my guillotine, and I don't like the way it does the edges. It kind of fuzzies them, and maybe I need a new blade, but honestly I haven't used it that much, so I don't know that a new blade would help. But anyway, so I tried the green down here to see what it would look like on the green, and it looks good. It looks green. Well, then I put it on regular paper, and it looks more yellow. I guess that's the flash, because it is also a color shift, and it is the green flash. So that gave me some more ideas, and I thought, well, I had a couple of thoughts, but I thought I don't need to put as many dots on this side, or I need to put more on this side when I do it. And I was just playing around. I wanted to see what it would look like. And I like it overall. I'm not happy with the white background, but I don't really know, other than a lighter green or very light, a very pale color, I don't know what else would work. So yeah, there's that. But what I thought we would do is we'd go ahead and do another one. So I'm going to lay out my silicone mat here just because I have it. I'm going to put the card front. Now I cut my stencil to 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it lines up perfectly with the edges of the card. You can cut your stencil to whatever size you want, or you know, if you're making your own, which is what we did, and if you're not making your own, then well, you don't have that kind of flexibility if you're not making your own. I'm going to grab a little more tape because I want to tape down these sides as well. And I don't think this tape is going to stick very good to this silicone. These newer pieces might, but not the previously used ones. So I'm just taping that down. So I used gold ink. I used gold ink on the first card, and I'm not sure I really like it. Now maybe if it was heat embossed it'd stand out better. I do think I would like that better if I maybe put the gold ink down, although I'm pretty sure I have gold embossing powder. But if you don't, you could put the gold ink down, then let it dry good, because it does take a little longer to dry. Then add your what's the word I want? Somebody, you know, that stuff that you use for embossing. I can't think of it. I'll think of it eventually, right when it's too late to do you any good. But anyway, you put that over the top, then add your embossing powder if you've got like a clear, and then you'd still get that gold effect. I'm actually thinking I might just go ahead and paint it gold. So I am going to need to get a paintbrush because I didn't grab one of those. And I might need a couple of them. You know what? Give me just a moment. Alright, found me a couple cotton balls and a paintbrush and some water. These are just acrylic paints. And I'm going to take a little bit and add it to a cotton ball here. And I'm going to use this yellow flash for the star, just because I do think it might have a little bit more. It's way too much variation in the color. I'm going to place this scrap piece of paper here so that I don't get any of that on my tree. Let's do it like, well, yeah, that'll be all right. I'll just come up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to kind of just pre-mush that because I got way too much, yeah. And then we'll just do this. Just kind of daub it on there like we used to do. Okay, so I think I'm going to be done with that one. So now I'm going to do the green. And then I want to let my star dry. So I'll start at the bottom and work my way. How will I do that? Let's see. So this is the acrylic metallic gloss finish color shift green flash from Folk Art. That's a mouthful. I'm going to shake it up real good, even though I just used it. And grab my slightly damp baby wipe here and just clean off my stencil while it's still wet. Sort of clean, not sort of wet, sort of, yeah. I don't want to wipe it off the card or get the card damp. There we go. I think that'll work. Alright, so I'm going to put a little, oh my goodness. I'm going to put a little puddle of paint here on this piece of paper, and we'll do the same thing. We'll just daub it on. Now I could probably even do that with the baby wipe, but I'm going to do it with the paint here. So let's get me a little puddle and just put it over here. Probably more than I need. And I kind of just try to get this so it's not so fibrous. You see how that kind of tore up there? I don't want it to do that if I can help it. And make sure that's taped down. Alright, so I've got my cotton ball here, and you can use sponge daubers, whatever you've got. Truth be told, I probably could have used that baby wipe, but we're gonna do it this way. And I'm still getting some of those parts that I don't want. So let me grab, I just want to cover up that star until I've gotten going here and worked my way away from it. And I'm just going to pounce this paint. Make sure I get a good coverage, which kind of isn't getting a good coverage. Maybe I pulled my cotton ball too tight, or maybe I was not using enough paint. That's probably what it was. So apparently it took a little bit more than I was anticipating. Alright, so I can get that out of the way now. And just going to kind of, oh my, I'm making a mess. I got the back of the card here. Good thing I wasn't planning on using that. Okay, let's get serious. So I am gonna put some more paint out, and I want the green flash, not the yellow. That should be enough, let's hope. Okay, so we're gonna go back up, make sure we get everything covered nicely. And I don't want to swirl it around like I would do with a brush, because the brushes are softer. Some of these finer pieces in this stencil would bend if I tried to brush this cotton ball around. So I don't want to do that. I just want to pounce it. This does have some nice sparkle in it. And I'm going back when I see an area that it looks like I missed. I'm going to go back and kind of cover that up. Come back over here, do this side. See, that fuzzy got caught on that point of that stencil, and I need to get it off of there. Here we go. Let's try that again. Hopefully that'll lay right back down where it was. Get a little more paint. This is the last little bit I need to do. Get some more right there. Alright, well, that was messy. Save my baby wipe. And I think I will just put this in the trash. Well, I'll hang on to it in case. Yeah, I got more. See, I've got more scrap. Let's not hang on to that, because I'll just get it all over something else. Alright, so I'm going to kind of clean off my... Well, I'm going to remove the stencil and hope that I did a good job. There we go. And yeah, it's messy. Alright, so we're going to go back to the ink, because that's super messy. Don't like it at all. So now we know pouncing apparently is not the way to go. So I'm going to wipe off my stencil here, or maybe if I hate to water it down, just because then that's water on your card, which is paper. What you might try though is some kind of flow agent, maybe, if you thinned your paint out a little bit. I don't know. Or maybe just a stencil that's not as delicate as this one. That might be the way to go too. I'm going to get rid of all of that. Grab me another baby wipe. I want to get this clean. So I'll finish cleaning this off and then we'll be right back. Okay, I cleaned off my stencil. And we're going to go back to the first method. Let me see here. I made such a mess. I put my hand in the one we just did, and I don't know. I'm getting ink everywhere, but that's okay. Well, ink and paint, actually. So, oh, actually I wanted to do this. I don't know about this star. I'll go ahead and do it, but I'll probably cut one out to put over the top of it, maybe. Let's see. Actually, I don't even think I need to do this. I think there's enough ink on my pad from before. So I'm just going to cover up that tip of that tree there, and then just pounce my gold ink in there. Yeah, that'll work. And just wash off my stencil. Now I will say that all those little fine points on my stencil did tend to grab a hold of the cotton ball and even the little fibers from this, so that's just something to be aware of. It didn't happen so much on the star, but it's not really as delicate as these other pieces are. So let's see here. Alright, so we're going to grab, hopefully, well, yeah, this is our grasshopper green. And we're just going to get some ink on our brush. Going to get rid of that little bit of gold there. Okay. And I'm just going to gently kind of hold everything in place and just brush in small little gentle circles because I don't want it to flip up anywhere. Now these ink pads are several years old. I'm hoping to use them up before I can switch into something else. I've got some Stampin' Up! Ink pads that I really like. There are other brands that I like as well. I also have some of the Tim Holtz Distress Inks and Distress Oxides, but this one doesn't come with refills, and when I end up replacing them, I am going to want something that'll give me the refill option, so that a re-inker option is, I guess, is what I should say. Okay, let's see if we can pick up a little pace here in these larger areas. Now you can use whatever colors you want. In the inspiration video by Ardith, she actually used all kinds of colors. I'm sticking with greens, but she used a variety of colors, and that looked nice too. So, you know, you have the freedom to put your own spin on these things, you know. Okay, get a little bit more ink out of this one. We'll do this side, this side on the bottom here, and then I'm going to kind of hold it while I do this. There we go. So it is the end of July. We are almost into August now, so it is time to start thinking about your Christmas cards and what you want to do. That was kind of moving on me and I don't want it to, so see if I can hold it down. You could also use a pair of tweezers for that. You might not get as stable a grip on it, but you could certainly do that. Let's see here. Okay, so I think we're going to switch now to our, I believe it's evergreen. I'm just using the same brush, but you know, you do you. What did I say? I did say, oh, pine tree, not evergreen, pine tree. Okay. Get nice and inky. And now I just want to really just kind of focus on the outside edges. You could just kind of do one side, make it look like the light was coming from the other side, or you can do what I'm doing, the outside edges, and that makes it look like the light is kind of straight on. Or you could just do it at the bottom. You know, like I said, you have free artistic license here to do this however you want to do it. Maybe I'll focus on one side, since the first one we did I left the middle lighter, so maybe we'll focus on one side here, just so that they're different. And I'm going to hold that down a little bit. Hold this down. If you have some repositionable spray, sticky spray that you can use, that would be good also for holding your stencil in place. I have some, but I don't know where it's at. And I don't really like to spray that stuff in the house because some of it does stink pretty bad. I almost forgot to do this little corner over here, so there we go. Okay, I'm gonna lift this up. See what we think. Oh, I like it. I like it. Okay, so I'm gonna move my card somewhere out of the way and just kind of give this a little cleanup here, just to get that ink off, because I don't want it to transfer in the future if I forget it's on there. And since it's green on green, it would be easy to forget that it's on there. Or at least easy for me, because I am very forgetful these days. I used to remember really well. Not anymore. Okay. And then we'll just do that. So there was quite a bit of ink on there, as you can see. So that's been removed. I'm just going to stick this over here on my pole. It'll probably fall down, but we'll give it a try. So I'm going to put those away. And you can always clean your brushes by brushing off some of the ink if you need to. There really wasn't that much left on there, so we're good. Okay, so let's bring this back in. And I am going to use, let's grab our original. I do like the dots on there. Now you could do colored dots if you want to make it look like colored lights all over your tree. I like the gold look, but that's just me, you know, again, personal preference. I'm thinking, yeah, we'll just do the shift, just because it might give us a little bit more, although the gold did leave better dots. Okay, now we'll do the color shift. It's here. We'll use it. So kind of clean off my mat a little bit. Push this up where you can see it better, and maybe I'll even zoom in a little bit. But first we're going to put a little bit, well, actually I just used it out of the cap last time, so we can probably do that again. My dotting tool. Let's see, I want this one here. And I'm going to zoom in. Try to keep you in view. So a lot of people who do the actual dotting thin their paints down. I think I might have said this a while ago. I have not. I'm just using it straight out of the container. So I'm going to hold this down, and I'm just going to do a dot, and then I'm going to pick up a little more paint because that wasn't quite enough. And then I'm going to walk my dots, and they will get progressively smaller. You can also use different size dotting tools. Let's do this over here. Okay. So this is something I've actually wanted to try for a very long time, and just hadn't gotten around to it yet. So this was a good way to incorporate a technique I've been wanting to try with some stuff I already do and enjoy doing. And it's actually fun. And I don't have to worry about my dot placement because I'm putting it right over my ink. So I don't have to think about it. And if you're familiar with the mandala dot painting, you know what I mean. They're very precise in where their stuff goes because they have to be. It's a mandala. You want it to meet up on the other side. You want it to look symmetrical is what I'm trying to say in a not so efficient way. So I'm going to keep painting, and what I will do when I edit the video is I will fast forward through all of this so that you can see it, but you don't have to see it in real time or listen to me in real time. Okay, that was fun and kind of relaxing, so I like that. So I've been thinking about it. I think I might put some diamond glaze on that star. I don't know if I can be as precise as I need to be, but I'm willing to give it a try. I don't know. What do you think? I think we should. So you will need to let this dry. As you can see, you've got these little wet paint dots, and they're not perfect. I didn't get all of them right on top of the green, but that's okay. I think that's perfectly fine. So let me zoom back out a little bit. And where's my diamond glaze? Let's see here. Oh, if I can get the cap off of it, it's probably going to need a little bit of attention. I imagine it's glued shut. We'll try it here. Let's see if I can move this down a little bit so it's a little closer to me. And I just want to put a little, oh good, it's working. I'm going to start with a pretty good dollop. And I'm going to grab my needle tool here. You know what, I don't know if that's really what I want. I think I want, well, it's handy. I don't know where the other one's at, so I'm just going to kind of drag it out along to the edges of the star. You know what? Let's try this. This is probably too big, but maybe at least get me going here. What I need is a toothpick, and I think I have some. Okay, now I really need to get some new glasses, but just going to drag that out, trying to keep it on the star. It almost looks like the ink has changed the color of the diamond glaze. I'm going to have to flip this around so I can see it better. All right. Yeah, maybe I put too much on there because I don't think I'm going to love this, but it's too late now. What I should have done was just cut a gold star out of some holograph or some gold cardstock. I think that would have been a much better choice. But sometimes you just got to play with something and see if it'll work. Alright, well, that's going to need a while to dry. But I think that's probably about as good as I'm going to get it. Actually, I need to kind of clean up this little bit right there. Okay. So, let me zoom back out a little bit more. That didn't work. There we go. So my phone is over my head and trying to reach up over that and not touch the wrong buttons. But what do you think? Now you could do something different with the trunk if you wanted. What I'm thinking I might do is get some pretty patterned paper or designer series paper, whatever you want to call it, and make some little gifts. You'll want something probably either with a metallic look to it or a really tiny print. And then maybe make some fake gifts. So I got a little smudge there. No, it's a little lint. Some tiny little gifts under the tree. And of course you've got room to put your sentiment up there at the top, but that's a handmade card and I kind of like it. And you can see we've got it darker on this side so it looks like the light's coming over here from the left. Like I said, you could do the outside edges and then it would look like the light was coming right at the center of it. Or you can just do it different colors, you know, throughout, however you want to do it. So this stencil, and I mentioned it in the other video, but in case you didn't see it, is from Creative Fabrica, and I will link it below. I forgot to do that on the other video, but I've gone back and fixed that since. But if you have a Design Space subscription, or yeah, they have lots of trees in there, so you don't have to go searching through somewhere else where you'd have to pay for it. You can make your own stencil. I showed you how I do it, what I use. I did link some previous videos because I did have some technical issues in the middle of the video where I actually designed the stencil, but I show you how to do that in previous videos, so I think you'll be okay. But there you go. It's, I mean, obviously it needs a sentiment or maybe a deer. I have some deer dye. Hold on a moment. All right, found my deer dye. Took me a minute. Found some. This is just, I just cut this little piece off to run it through the die cutting machine. But this is a velvet or flocked paper. I have had this for 25 or 30 years, and I have it in a variety of colors: red, green, blue, brown, and black. And I thought I couldn't find the brown at first, but I finally found it. And I just thought that looked so neat. It's so soft. Oh, you can't even see me petting it. It's so soft. And now my paint is still probably wet here, so I'm going to give it a little bit. But eventually I think I'll put it right down here toward the bottom. And I have others. Maybe I'll cut out another one to put on this side. But isn't it pretty? It's just this beautiful little flocked paper. I haven't seen it in a bazillion years. I don't know if you can still get it anywhere. If not, that's a shame, because I bought it when I was doing scrapbooking. I was making, well, my mother and I were making genealogy scrapbooks for my siblings, and we were of course looking for all kinds of interesting stuff, and this was one of the papers that I found, and I just love it. And it doesn't, it's hard to see it on the camera, but it really is soft and textured, and it's beautiful. That's actually more like what it looks like, is what you see here, than versus this, which looks really dark. And maybe if I made it, you know, coaxed them into going a different direction. No, same thing. But anyway, you could also use brown cardstock. You could do any number of things, but I just remembered I had that, and then I remembered the flocked paper. So I think that'll be that for this card. I will put him down here, include a sentiment across the top and something on the inside, and we'll call this one good. It's very simple. It's not the Gatefold that we initially had tried, but I do have that one here too, and I mean, I probably could use it. I don't love it, but it's here. So it's my template. But this one I think I like. Again, I think what I would do with this star up here is either cut it out of gold cardstock or emboss it with gold. I think that would be pretty. The gold ink pad that I have, maybe it's just a little bit dull, I don't know, but it's not my favorite. Keep picking up little pieces of lint. I still don't think my dots are dry, but I really so badly want to put this deer down here, but I won't. Now the other thing you could do with this, and I just thought of this, you could take and cut out some like snow mounds and maybe layer those across the top, and then you could add some little snow bunnies or whatever. I mean, this is just your starting point. You can do whatever you want with it. But yeah, I think it's really cute. I think it'll be really cute when I finally get this guy glued on there. And so that is card, well, started out as a gatefold, ended up as a regular fold. And this is just because I can't seem to cut my gatefold. Now, if I did it on my Cricut, I'd probably get it right, because I wouldn't have to depend on myself to get these numbers correct. I could figure it out in there, but anyway, I mean, I still have to figure it out, but yeah, so I like it. I think it's cool, and I think if you use different colors like Artist did, I think that would be really cool too. Kind of a funky, fun, whimsical new twist on the holiday. And so guys, I'm going to call that a wrap, and it still took 41 minutes. That's way too long. I'll have to do some editing, but until next time, happy crafting.